Hello everyone and welcome back to the Java tutorial series. In this video we are going to be covering classes, how we can use them, and what they are. So what a class is, it's basically a template. So if we look in our code from the previous video, we see Boolean. Boolean is a class. And as we saw before, in the last video we used things such as array lists and other classes. So if we go down to where we made the array list, you see it says array list, and then it has these, then it has that, and then we give it a name, and then we type new array list, and then this. And now if you look at a scanner class, we see that we typed in scanner, we named it input, and we typed in equals new scanner, and then give it a parameter. So today we're going to be looking at how we can do that and make our own custom classes. So to start off, in the hierarchy, in the package explorer, left click source, go under new, and click class. Name your class, for this example, entity, and make sure the public static void main string args is not checked, and only inherited abstract messages, and click finish. Now you see this is an empty class. So if we go back in our main class, if we go up to all our variables, and let's say we go here, and now we can do entity e equals new entity. So now we can see that it allows us to do that. So what can this entity do? So let's call this entity, let's call this entity player. And now let's go in the entity class, and let's see the attributes the entity could have. Let's say, for example, int health. And now if we go back here, we go player dot health. So we could access the player's health in this code as well. So now what we could do is go over here, go right before the semicolon, set it equal to 100. And let's also make a Boolean that checks if the player is dead or not. So let's do Boolean is dead equals false. And now let's actually make a method that actually kills the player. So let's go public void kill. The reason we are not making this method static is because it's in a different class, and we don't need to make it static in a different class. So in the kill method, let's do health equals 0 and is dead equals to true. And now if we go back in our hello world file, and let's go at the bottom of our code, let's press enter twice to make some space, and let's say we do player dot health. We could check the player's health. We could decrease it as well, such as let's say from 100, let's make it like subtract 10 from it, 19. And now if we do system dot out dot print ln, we just print in the player dot health. We hit run. Let's just quickly type a number here, and you see it says 81 because 100 minus 19 is 81. So what if we want to do is something different, such as player dot health minus, let's say, 10, because in a normal game if there's going to be a player and he's going to have health, and if something else attacks him, then his health will be subtracted. We aren't just going to hardcode the health. So if we run again, let's just type in a number here. It says 90 right here. Now let's actually make a coordinate system for our player. So what this is going to be is it's just going to be two variables for the x-axis of the player and the y-axis of the player. So let's do int x equals 0 and int y equals 0 as well, because we are going to make this the spawn. And now we are going to be making 4 new variables to move the player. So let's say public void up parentheses and curly brackets. Let's do y plus plus, which means add 1 to y. And now let's make our other methods. We'll copy that, paste it again 3 times, rename each method to where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to name the second one down, third one right, and the last one left. Now what we could do is adjust the variable depending on the method name. So let's do y minus minus, which means y will be reduced by 1 for down. And for right, let's do x plus plus. And for our left, let's do x minus minus. Now, before we do this, I just want to make a quick method which gets the position of the entity. So let's do public in our main file static string get entity position. Let's say entity E, which means it takes in the parameter of E, and right now it's going to give an error because we haven't returned anything. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in return. So we're going to do E.x, which means the x-axis of the entity, plus quotation marks, comma, space, plus E.y. And that should be it for the method. We are doing this because if we have multiple entities in our file, so we could just call get entity position instead of doing system.out.print in this long line. So now if we go back down, let's say layer dot up, layer dot right, layer dot right, layer dot down, layer dot down. Save it, run it. Let's just type in a number here, and now it has moved, but we haven't actually printed it to the user. So to do that, let's just do system.out.println, and inside here we'll do get entity position parentheses, and then we'll just give it the entity which is the player. Save it, and now run. Let's just quickly type in something here, and then you see the entity's position change. And now to just check that I actually moved, put in the print statement up here as well. Save and run. Type in something here. You see the first time the position was 0, now it's 2 and minus 1. Now, what if the player is dead? So let's do player dot kill, And now let's move the player again. Let's say player dot say left. Just print it. Let's print the position. And now if you run, type in something here, you see the player still can move. So to change that, what we have to do is go back in our entity, and now in these methods, what we need to do is we need to add them logic and conditioning. So in the up method, on top, right before we do y++, type in if parentheses exclamation mark is dead. This means if the player is not dead, so the exclamation mark means not, and go right beside your y++ and hit tab. What that basically does is just means if the player is not dead, we can just move the player. So we also want to tell that if the player is dead, then what we want to do. So let's just print in a message. I'm actually gonna unindent it over here, and we'll just do system.out.println. We're gonna print in player, entity is dead. So now I'm gonna now tell you a tip. So for example, if you have written a lot of code and you have forgotten to indent it, what you could do is press Ctrl A on your keyboard and then press Ctrl I, and you should see that it automatically indents for you. Now now we just need to do this for the others movement methods. So let's go here, paste that there, and then let's press enter, and then just do that. And now I'm going to take this, put it here, and put it here, and I'm going to take the else as well, copy that, put it here, and put it here. And now what I'm going to do is press Ctrl A and Ctrl I, and it should automatically indent. Now if we save and play, let's just type in a number here, we could see the entity dies, so we don't move. So, and the position stays the same and we do not move. And this shows that how powerful classes can be and how flexible they can be and how they can make a very big effect to your programs. And if the programming languages that use classes are called object-oriented, when you're using classes in your programs, it is called object-oriented programming. So you should keep that in mind, just in case that ever helps you. And I'll see you in the next episode of the Java Tutorial Theory.